Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the Fresh Crits of Melbourne. As you have hopefully picked up, we are once again down at Glenvale with Caulfield Carnegie Cycling Club. And this is a bit of a story to rival any J.R. Tolkien novel. This is a 4-part episode series, whatever you want to call it. And this is part 2. So we're right in the middle of the John Hollingworth Cup. It's now been going on this is the second week. And the reason why it's cool is because basically over the 4 weeks, all the points that you collect throughout the race, being it if you win overall or you finish top 10, as well as some intermediate sprint points that are in the mix as well. So if you can collect points throughout these 4 weeks and be in the running at the end of the 4 weeks to get a prize. No one knows what that prize could be. It could be an out-of-date Big M and a used packet of twisties. Nobody knows. But right now, we're going to pick this up with just over 24 kilometers left, and we've just crossed the start-finish line, and you would have been able to hear that the whistle was blown to signify that this lap, once you cross the start-finish line again, if you're in the top 3, you're going to be in the points for some sprint points. So I'll put the current results, or the current standings rather, up on the screen now to give you a bit of an idea. It is quite close. I'm fortunate enough to be in the green jersey at the moment, although my jersey is not green. Hypothetically, it could be green if they gave out green jerseys, but it'd be a logistical nightmare to do that. But right now, we're coming into the back straight, one more corner. I'm here with Matt Hodgie, who is an R33 rider. I've asked him to come and pull through as I hit the front way too early. And like I said before, this is to pick up the first intermediate sprint points. So I step on the gas right now. There's 2 guys up the road. We've got Jordy, as you can see, long range, as well as this rider here, who is in second. So I wasn't able to catch him on the line, and I pick up 3rd place, which it's all about picking up points where you can. And that's how you win these sorts of things, I assume. So without further ado, we might as well get stuck in a little bit further into the race. We'll pick it up from the second sprint, and we can talk a little about what happens from there. 6Ks later, as promised, we are now just crossing the start-finish line. The whistle has sounded, informing us that this is the second intermediate sprint points. And on the front, we have Alan. I'm just going to sit here and rip 400 watts for as long as it takes. Crawford coming around the third corner here. Second corner, rather. So this is, if I want to contest a sprint, I'm up the front way too early. I don't want to be sitting my nose in front here because it's just a recipe of disasters. But as I can hear when I'm riding, I hear Kerry flying in on the left-hand side here. I ramp up to almost 1200 watts to jump on this train. Now, bit of miscommunication here. I've got Russ in the Trivelo kit right on my hip, and he's actually saying, look, let me go in front and you can sit in and I can lead you out. But I didn't hear what he was saying. It was all chaos. So for some reason, I'm just sitting here with my nose in the wind. Carl's sitting on my rear here. We come into the final straight. We've got that tailwind, and now I have to absolutely step on it. My heart rate's already super, super high. It's basically a drag race with the rider next to me right now. Anders, full power, 1000 watts, no give up, not until the very end. A throw on the line secures first in this intermediate sprint. But I'm cooked. 193. This is an effort that would have been done at the end of the race. But knowing that there's still, 16K left in this, there's still plenty of time. I need to now recover ASAP. I'm not even pedaling. I'm just so gentle on the pedals. And here goes Jordy. What an absolutely brilliant time to attack. He just sees everybody's like hanging over their stem. He launches in a ripper attack down the right-hand side here, and I'm just left trying to recover and pick up the pieces left behind from that sprint. So I fall back into the pack. I try to recover the best as I can, but I'm obviously blowing chunks. I'm not feeling too crash hot. So right now, it's all about just sitting in the wheels, get your breath back, and hopefully the guys at the front of the race can keep everything together. So let's just see how that one plays out. All right, so we're going to pick this one up just 4Ks later, where our good friend Jordy, Mr. Breakaway, launches a massive attack on the right-hand side, and this one is an absolute ripper because basically it allows him to stay away. So you see him creeping up the right-hand side and then just absolutely steps on it, out of the saddle, sprint. And we're only going 34Ks, so when it's the pace is this low, an attack's going to, if you can hit the group with a bit of speed, you're going to be able to get away. So it doesn't really look, the group is starting to react now as we've hit 41 kilometers an hour, but you can already see little gaps have started to open up. You can see that there's 3 riders in this group that Jordy has brought with him. Look, because I was sitting in the wheels, still trying to recover, I wasn't feeling great. Might have had beers the night before, but Nick Owen is definitely in this breakaway with Jordy and one other rider, which I'm not sure about, unfortunately. So if that is you, I apologize, and please pipe up in the comments below. And whilst you're doing that, don't forget to like and subscribe. I had to sneak that in there. So we're going to pick this up. We want to monitor this break because this is one that ultimately sticks and effectively allows Jordy to win the race. Sorry if I spoiled it for anyone. So let's skip ahead and we'll have a look how this break plays out. Okay, so we're 2 laps after the last discussion, I guess. We have about 8,700 meters left, and this gives you the first opportunity to see the break. You can already see Nick and Jordy are still up the road, and I believe the rider on the right-hand side is the one that has been dropped. I don't think it's the guy on the left, so I've had to have a look at this footage a few times. There's not that many opportunities to get a glimpse of what's going up the road. So you could just see Nick and Jordy still working together up the road, and I believe this is the guy on the right that unfortunately was not able to stay with that break, and he's just been dropped. But you can see the guys are only, 3 seconds, 4 seconds up the road, and the guys are just letting them hang off the front. Now, whenever you're in a break, you just need to, it's one of those things, you just need to continue going with it because all it takes is the peloton, the group, to stop working together and gaps will start to open up. People stop pulling through and effectively your breakaway can absolutely stick. So we'll skip in a little bit further forward and I want to show you how close we actually get. All right, we've jumped forward just about a lap. And unfortunately, you can see Nick here on the left-hand side in the beautiful Bionico kit cannot stay with the group. And Jordy, you can just see him. There he is, just going around the corner, maybe, a dozen bike lengths in front of us. He is so close to being caught. But because nobody shut it down, Jordy would have looked behind him and gone like, do you know what? Well, if you guys aren't going to put an effort in, I'm going to continue going on with this because there's always a chance to break away. So good on you, Jordy. You're only a few seconds up the road, but let's just see how this one goes. As you can see on the left-hand side, the race commissioner, someone needs to tell me how to say this word, it shows us that there is 2 laps left to this race, and things are starting to heat up. So Jordy is still off the front, and he's been able to drop any company that he has. He's got no mates up the road, just him, flying solo, Cosiolo. He's away. You can just make him out on the side of the road up there, taking really, really nice lines through the corners. Now, this is when I introduce Josh and Jackson with the absolute second last lap flyer on the right-hand side here. And this is another little attack that sticks. It stays away and basically secures them second and third. Hashtag spoilers. As you can see, because nobody's willing to work. And why would you? If you've been driving the pace off the front and 2 riders go and you're absolutely cooked. Unless you flick an elbow, unless someone else is motivated to come through, then, they are going to go get away. And as you can see, the guy that was on the front has had to pull over. He's cooked. Green bike here is trying to make an effort to bridge across. As you see, Jordy just take that left-hand corner round. Josh and Jackson are still out in front with a very, very tiny margin. So it's last lap. The bell has rung. It is game on from here, and I'm sitting second wheel, and this is not where I want to be. This is not a great spot. You don't want to be second wheel, and you haven't even hit the back straight yet. So I'm obviously got my head on a swivel. I don't mind if the pace drops, so long as that A, I'm ready for it, and B, can snap on to a wheel to join the train. So here comes it. On the right-hand side, there is one wheel that's gone. And now I'm looking to just try to surf the wheels and stay in contention. Tom is on my right, on my hip now in the blue kit. And we've got Russ here. We saw Russ before. I'm essentially going to sit in here because I know he has an absolute cracking sprint. And as long as I can stay up in the wheels, I know that he's going to provide a fantastic launch pad for me to drag race the final sprint. Here we come into the final sprint to the finish. I know Russ has got an absolute kick. He steps on it. I sit on his wheel for a little bit. My legs aren't feeling great. And now it's just a drag race to the absolute finish. We got Tom on my rear now. He's trying to sit into my draft as well, but I'm able to just get him on the line as I throw and pick up 4th. So, the race results off that one. We have Jordy as clear winner of that race with Jackson, Josh, Steve, and then Anders and Tom rounding out the top 6. I'll put them up on the screen so you can have a bit of a look through and then give overall sort of race standings about where we're sitting. But that's pretty much a wrap, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you again for listening to me. I'm surprised you do it every week, but I really do appreciate it. If you like this stuff, send me, hit the like button, subscribe. I'm up on the Instagram now. I don't really know what I'm doing, so find me at fresh_crits. And I'll be back next week for the 3rd round of this 4-part magnificent episode. So stay tuned for that one. Ciao.